Hi there, welcome to Junior and Senior High Devotions. We're continuing our series on worship. Thanks so much for tuning in. And today we are at a very cool transition point in our worship service. Maybe you've never really thought about it, but today we're talking about the peace, and it bridges two sections of our service: the word that we've been talking about with hearing the word of God, preaching, the creed and the prayers, to our moment of the meal, communion. And so we have this time of peace, and it's really special. Now, it does come right after the prayers that we've all said together, praying for the church, the world, and those in need. And so we find that there is an answer right after we've said those prayers, and the answer to it is the peace of Christ. That is what we are gifted with. And so it comes to us as an answer to our prayers, and we're showing in actions that we do, in the words that we say, that it is a gift for all, God's gift to each and every one of us. And we do that by the person offering the peace, usually one of the pastors, says, "The peace of Christ be with you always." And we open our arms wide, wide, wide to show that it's a big gesture for everyone, that everyone's included. And then other people in the congregation will sometimes too almost receive it with open arms and gift it back to the pastor, saying, "And also with you." You could practice that on your own if you'd like to. And then people go throughout, the people by them or near them, and give the words of God's peace, say, "Peace be with you." Maybe give a handshake. Right now we're just doing waves or signs of peace, but we'll get back to handshakes maybe someday. People will give hugs to their family, showing that this is just a special time because it's all about that gift of Christ's peace. It's not a general handshake that you might give when you would meet someone, or a wave just to say hello. No. It's truly special because this is us embodying Christ to one another. We've been gifted with Christ's peace, and we give that out to other people. Then it's time when we're going to take our offering, after we've kind of all settled down and sat in for this special time of the meal that's coming up. Now, we take the offering here, and it's for the mission of the church, including the care of the people we've prayed for, those in need. And you'll also notice during this time, there's usually some other movement going on with the setting of the table for communion. And that's a really cool connection, because we're collecting offerings because we know that God feeds us with this amazing meal of forgiveness. And in response, we can't help but want to help out our neighbors. Now, offerings, a lot of the times you'll see people with envelopes or money. Some people give online, but offerings are indeed money, but they are also sometimes our time and talents. And so often there'll be special music here during the service, people giving their talent of music. And then offerings are brought forward, and usually when they're brought forward, sometimes there'll either still be some setting of that table, or the communion elements will be brought forward too. And it just reminds us that everything we have from God, even that bread and wine, the things that go into bread and wine like wheat and grapes, all of those things come from God. And often when our service includes the presentation of those offerings and sometimes communion elements, we stand as those are coming forward. And that's because, as we say our offering prayer that's coming up, we are presenting ourselves as offerings too. And that is what comes next, our offering prayer. And it's a big thank you to God, saying thank you for all that we have, and then again to remind us that we are to be gifts in the world because God has gifted us with so much. So we ask for God's empowerment and spirit to be with us, to feed each other, to make sure everyone has what they need, and to thank God again for all of the gifts that we have been so blessed with. So it's a really cool time in our service, another amazing part that we get to experience together, this time of peace and offering, bridging together our word section and the meal section. So we have one more video next week to conclude our series on worship, and actually our videos of junior and senior high devotions for this year. I can't believe it. It's been a different year, but a good one. Hope you've enjoyed all we've done. You have given so many offerings through our different service projects. I hope you've learned a little bit here and there. And we will be having some events here for youth group and things in the summer, and hopefully starting up more regularly in the fall. It's been, again, just such a different time, but I'm glad we had this time together. And for this week, as you're going through out your week, hope that you know that you have God's peace. And so you can say that to yourself if there's anything going on that you are worried about, or just anything that's coming up that's maybe you just need to take a breath. Know that you have God's peace, and you could even offer it to others. Give God's peace to one another. So take care, and we will see you again next time.